heavyweight division. We also saw at the WBC convention that Tyson Fury v Dillian Whyte wasn't ordered. We expected it to be, but the WBC said that because there's a legal case going on with Dillian behind the scenes, they're not going to order that fight. What did you make of that?
You know what? That's my first time hearing about that, honestly. Yeah. That was not on my radar at all. Dillian Whyte, I believe, has earned his shot at the title. Is it a fight that I want to see? Not really. I still want to see AJ go at it with him, but I know AJ got some unfinished business with Usyk. I still want to see Tyson Fury and AJ. I don't care. I don't care about the losses. I don't care about that. I still want to see who's the best, who's the king of, England. Who's the king?
Those are the words of Timothy Bradley as he breaks down his response and his feelings about Dillian Whyte not getting his shot. Like you heard him say, he hasn't heard of it. Okay, but he deserves a shot. Okay, that's the important thing. But he also said that he still wants to see Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. Let's move forward.
That's what I want to know.
Many people believe that it's now a one-sided fight.
If it is, it is. But you can never count out a guy like Joshua.
So, as you heard the reporter shout out to him like, oh, well, a lot of people think now it's a one-sided fight. Listen, I must reiterate because I guess people don't watch every video. Some people do. Shouts out to the ones that do. You know the real, you know the true. Bars. What happens when one fighter fights another fighter? They fight each other. When a fighter fights another fighter, that has nothing to do with any other fighter at all. You just got this opponent against this opponent. So in this case, you had Joshua and Usyk. Usyk beat Joshua. Okay, so we have that battle. Usyk wins. Could Usyk win every time? We will see because they got to fight again, right? But what does that have to do with Tyson Fury? What does it have to do with Tyson Fury at all? Not a damn thing. Tyson Fury doesn't fight like Usyk. The only thing he has in common, he has good hand speed. Okay. Different height, different style. Okay. Different everything. So the thing is, when you're talking about another fighter or discrediting one fighter because he lost to another fighter, which none of these guys fought, and even if they fought, it doesn't matter. Look at Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, and George Foreman. Those outcomes were totally different. That's all you really need to know. But when we come back to the present, Timothy Bradley's right. It doesn't matter about the losses because a lot of people look at losses like, hey, most people are biased anyway. If you're a Fury fan, you would like to see the idea of Anthony Joshua losing. And just because Anthony Joshua lost, those same Fury fans would love to say, oh, he clearly couldn't beat Tyson Fury. Why? Because he lost. He lost to who? Another fighter. Okay, so it has nothing to do with Tyson Fury because Tyson Fury wasn't in the ring with Anthony Joshua on the 25th of September. Alexander Usyk was. Okay? Those are two different men, two different fighters. Okay, so when we start discrediting a fighter like they did with Ali, like they're doing with Anthony Joshua, this is what you're going to bound to get. You'll get surprise fights like Ali and Foreman. What did Ali knock Foreman out in round 8? But how did that happen? Because that was a different fight from the fight that George Foreman, pulverized George Foreman, that beat Ali. It happens, people. So if we know that and we understand the history and we discredit and ignore triangle theories, because that's exactly what that is, we will be better off to take one fight at a time and to take one opponent against another opponent and respect the outcome, okay? And understand there's nothing involving around those two people fighting in that ring that day. Nothing else is important. So if win or lose, you can't view no one else's fight on another fight that they never fought. It makes no sense at all. Fights are personal. Fights are very, very aggressive. They're very serious. It's a brutal sport. It's the sport that I love that I hate so much. Sometimes people go in that ring. Sometimes they don't walk out. Let's be real. But what's important is fights happening to see who is the winner. Like Timothy Bradley says, I want to see who the king of the UK. Who is it? Obviously, it's not Dillian Whyte because he doesn't really care to see that fight. But he wants to see who can win out of Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. And that's something that I would want to see. But if we keep allowing triangle theories to be the biblical doctoring over who fights who, then we will never see the fight. In other words, this is what I'm saying. If we see Alexander Usyk defeat Anthony Joshua again, based on fans and based on the mentality of people, which they shouldn't have, we will never see Joshua in Fury. And if we do, and you see Joshua beat Fury, everybody will be like, don't do that, because you've never seen these two guys get into the ring and square off. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Timothy Bradley addressing Dillian Whyte in the WBC issue and Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.